Hello and welcome to Jrock's Babylon. I'm your host, Jason Jrock Houston, and our guest for today is Jammie Bosstel. I've interviewed Jammie a few times before. So how you doing today, Jammie? You have a new solo album out. You want to let us know how people can get that?
Yeah, it's streaming, but I've just got 25 copies made to sell to friends and stuff personally.
Okay.
You can get them, you can hit me up. I'll sell you one for $10. I'll send it to you in the mail if you
Okay.
like it.
Oh wow, that's fun. So the new album. One thing I really dug about it is the solo album you put out. I guess would have been earlier this year. That was great in itself, but the two albums are quite different. There's quite a progression. Each album kind of stands out on its own. So you want to talk about kind of, to me, it seems a little heavier. What's your thoughts on the new album?
Well, I definitely improved on the production. That was important to me. Um, yeah, I mean, I went through a dark time myself last year. I lost my job and stuff, so you happen to just, end up writing about stuff that's going on in your life and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Probably that has a lot to do with one of my favorite songs is actually "Life's Not Fair," and the simple fact that you hear people say that a lot. That's how often do we hear that in our life? And my comment kind of comeback is, life is sometimes what we make of it, and you getting fired, for example, is not, that's not necessarily something you made, but we find a way to deal with things. Is what I'm saying, so you
Right.
you lose your job, and so you focus on music and you concentrate on trying to get a new job. I'm sure.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I got a new job, but yeah, and I've went all out. I'm doing solo acoustic stuff. I'm playing a cover band. I've got three original bands, and then I'm also doing the recording, doing my own stuff too.
Uh,
You know, give life your all. You know what I mean? Because yeah, life isn't fair, but it's what you make of it too.
yeah,
So
and I can. It's something that like a lot of people I can totally relate to. I mean, I'll give you kind of a brief history on myself recently. I mean, I was at the same job for 15 years, type of job where I kind of enjoyed the job. I knew what to do,
mm,
um, but they didn't necessarily. They'd say, "Oh, we appreciate all your hard work," but I didn't really see that, and I was afraid to leave for 15 years because it felt safe. Oh well, if I leave somewhere else, I'm going to have to start at the bottom. But eventually, I got tired of it, and an opportunity came my way. I got a job where I'm now getting $6 more than what I was getting. When I left the other job, is partly because finding out people been there like I was there 15 years and people getting more money than me was only there a year. And I asked, what's going on with that? Well, they
wow.
asked for they asked for a raise. You didn't. But long
Yeah.
story short, I finally made a decision that I'd been kind of not wanting to do, but I'm glad I did. Best decision I ever made.
Yeah, I don't really want to go into it too much, but I was betrayed. The
Yeah,
boss was actually supposed to be my friend, but that
yeah,
didn't. In the end, he showed his true colors. Let's just put it that way.
yeah. I totally relate to that. And there's some great tunes on there. I think there's one "Rocking Back" and it's '83. That was another one of my favorites on the new
Oh,
album.
Body like 83.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to do something. I just wanted to see if I could do something kind of Nickelback like,
yeah, yeah,
just for fun. I mean, a lot of the songs are kind of dark on the album, heavy, a
yeah.
little angry. So I was like, man, I need to lighten it up and put a fun song on here just to show people I can do that too. And then I put Sparkle and Shine on there too. It's very I was influenced by the Foo Fighters when I wrote that. I wrote
Okay.
that. Um yeah, I don't know. I just like to write songs. It doesn't matter if it's angry metal, if it's pop rock or whatever. I just like to write songs. And
Uh,
I love recording. I love getting that production to sound as good as possible. Uh, I do it all on my own. You
yeah,
know.
that's one thing I've always enjoyed about your music. Like you said, some of the early Bostel was a little kind of it had like a pop kind of commercial radio, kind of like almost Bon Jovi kind of sound. But it's your sound is all over the place, and that's one of the things I've always loved because you never know what you're going to get. You just know it's going to be Bostel, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah,
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, you have the Bosstel stuff and then you have the stuff I did by myself. It takes a while to put songs together with the band Bosstel.
uh,
So rather than waiting around, I decided to put stuff out under my name too.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's
and yeah,
well,
Raging to Exhale is a sophomore album. I'm already working on a third one already.
yeah,
So,
yeah. In fact, when I heard the title, that's the thing that really stood out to me. Rage and Exhale. Before I even heard a lick of the music, I okay, this is gonna be something heavy, and not that there's any comparison, but I remember years ago there was a movie called Waiting to Exhale. I think of the Whitney Houston movie, and
yeah,
yeah, and so that was fun too. And one of the songs you mentioned that really stood out to me too, Love and Violence. Not sure what the song's about, but just the title, Love and Violence, it's one of those things that you could be talking about, you know, a girlfriend, a wife, a friend, just somebody in your life, I really, really love this person, but at the same time, they drive me crazy.
right. Those songs about, honestly, it tells a story. I wrote that song a long time ago with another band. I changed the music. Because I've always liked the lyrics. Those lyrics tell my story. That was my childhood. I grew up in a bad home. I mean, I love my mother. My mother's great, but I had a violent stepfather, whatever. But that song was written back in early 2000 when Stained was hot and stuff like that. So I was like, man, I've always liked the lyrics to that song. And there were actually people that were fans of that band back in the day who had gotten tattoos that said love and violence on their arm,
Wow.
you know, and the whole message behind the song was love is not violence and violence is not love. Because, if you've been abused, people tell you I did that because I love you,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's not true, and that's what the message of the song is. It just tells a story of anybody, um, not only my story,
yeah,
no top story here or anything. I turned out all right,
yeah, yeah,
but I grew up, my stepfather was pretty violent in that, and he was violent with me, and he would say stuff like, I did that because I love you and stuff. And it kind of sticks with you as you get older.
sure, sure.
Hey, I'm being as real as possible right now, man.
Yeah,
Transparent. But other people, they feel that way too. There's other people that have been abused and been through that, and it tells, they feel that. That song is just a story song if you listen to it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. And I don't think anybody can really kind of understand what you went through unless they have a similar, abuse story or similar experience. I mean, I know somebody that family horribly abused them, and there's they still talk about it years later. People tell them, oh, you need to get over that, But like when I tell them, you didn't live through that. You don't know what they went through.
that's true, exactly, Jason. And I mean, our day, you have dark days. You have days where it surfaces in your mind. And the song "Bird in the Berry" with Bosstel, that song is about that. But there's days where you know you reflect back and think about that. And we all have our good and bad days, all of us. And
Yeah.
if you're not human, you're a liar.
Oh, sure. And that's
So
why it takes a certain kind of skin or something to be willing to kind of share those kind of experiences and put them in these songs. That's why I think the lyrics and the songs are so real because I mean, I imagine when you're writing the song, it's like the memories are coming back, or you're kind of, I don't know if you want to say living through it again, but you're telling a true story. It's not just kind of a made up. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that song is close to my heart for sure. And I never really liked. I was in a band back in 2006. I won't name the band, but
yeah,
we went and recorded this song in a studio down in Atlanta, and I never liked the production. It wasn't good, so
yeah,
I came up with that music, and I had the music first, and I was like, well, what words can I put to this? And then I thought, man, those words will work with this song. So I went ahead and they're my lyrics. I wrote the lyrics. I didn't take music from the band. It's my
yeah,
song. So I just changed the music and added those lyrics and the same vocals to it, and it worked. I was like, wow, it's pretty good. I recently have talked to the bass player from that band that I played with, and he goes, man, he goes, your production's far better than what we did. You know, the song was okay, but the production lacked. That's why I redid it. And then my favorite song on Raging to Exhale is Love Never Truly Dies. It's
okay,
got that Linkin Park kind of vibe. And, I was more thinking like Shine Down when I wrote that.
Yeah.
It's got the, electronics in it and that. And it's just a fun song.
Yeah, another one of my favorites is actually probably one song that's the most different is Something in the Way. To me, that's kind of the softer side of Jamie Bosstel. I don't know what it is, but I was listening to the song, the music, and it's very got a very hypnotic sound to it as you listen to it.
That's a remake. You know that, right?
I wasn't aware of that. Wow.
That is a Nirvana song.
Oh, I see again. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't
Yeah,
listen that closely, but wow, you put your
that's been
stamp
my
on it.
thing. That's been my thing on my albums. I've done remakes. I did a remake of 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins on the last album. And then I did Something in the Way on this one. Yeah. I also like my song, the opening track, Sirens.
Okay.
Um, Not to get too deep into politics because I don't
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
that, but after the whole Charlie Kirk thing and the
sure.
violence and stuff like that, that's kind of what that song's about. It's just the violence that we're denying that we don't see every day.
Yeah.
You know, we can make the world a better place if we make that decision,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
again, not to get too political, but I will say in regards to all that, the thing that kind of really stood out to me about, like when he was shot, was that you have these people, I'm not going to mention any names, that were going online, that were going on TV even, like, and saying stuff like, well, I didn't agree with what he said, so, I can kind of understood why he was shot. I'm like, somebody got shot here, let's just think about that.
It's not cool at all.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't support it, or
yeah,
I don't support anybody who supports that. Of course not.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I recently had a couple friends unfriend me because I played a venue uh, that a guy owned that made some remarks about the Charlie Kirk thing, and they
My
came down
God,
and like,
that's ridiculous.
how could you play that venue when he feels that way? I'm like, it's a gig for me, man.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
room, it's a stage. And in my area, there's not a lot of places to play for original bands. For
Yeah.
people to do what I do, and I was thinking about this the other day and I wanted to put this out there. I thought about making a personal video. Um, Tribute bands, man, they have taken over the venues. There isn't much room for original artists right now. And that was a lifetime decision that I made. I made a decision. I didn't go to college. I chose rock and roll. I tried to make it, and I chose to write my own music. And it's been hard to get gigs. So I have all this time on my hands. So in between, I've been doing a lot of recording and writing because I've been telling people that songs break the barriers and they break the gatekeepers. And I'm living proof of that.
Oh yeah, and you're still out there doing it, and then it's more than you just getting up there and doing your thing. I mean, you've made such a splash as far as to me because you're getting some pretty good gigs. I mean, I seen recently you opened for L.A. Guns. I know that's pretty good. Yeah,
My other band, Arson Radio, that you have to check that out too.
sure.
It's really good. Um, I have no problem working with other people that write music as well.
Yeah.
I pride myself as a professional, and I have no problem just singing and writing lyrics for people. I've got a couple projects I do that with. I work with some guys in England called Entwines. I want to give them
Okay.
some cred out there. They're kind of 90s punk, kind of grungy. I never met these guys face to face. We talk online, do Messenger,
Hmm.
and I do that. And then Arson Radio, I sing and write lyrics for that. And that guitar player's name's Jamie Dyer. He writes all the music with that. And he's actually the one who I learned my new solo album, the debut album, and this album, Raging Exhale. The drums are programmed.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to 2025.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds good. I mean, and see, that's another thing. Like in talking to you a few times I have, Jamie, you always bring up the fact that about the production of your music, and
Yeah,
like to me, when I listen to it, it's again, I'm not a musician, so maybe I don't have a musician's ear. It
right.
sounds great, but that's one thing I know that you take a great pride in, like making sure it
Yeah.
sounds good. Yeah,
Oh, I care about that. I told friends when I started doing this recording thing in 2020, when the pandemic was happening and bands weren't doing gigs, I started doing this. I told people I'm going to get my production just as good as anything you hear on the radio. I'm gonna figure it out, and I have in a
Uh,
short time too.
so what was the name of the other band you said you were involved with? Arson, what is it?
Arson Radio.
Arson Radio. Where are they based out of? Are you guys just a recording project? Have you done any live shows?
We started and the band existed in 2011, and long story short, we couldn't keep a bass player, couldn't keep a drummer. Times were tough at the time. We were still at the tail end of the economy crash and
Uh,
stuff, so it was tough, man. I wasn't working.
yeah,
A guitar player was kind of working. We were kind of all of us were struggling, so it was hard to keep it together.
sure.
But we kind of just said, hey, let's just end it for now, and maybe we'll come back to this one day. 14 years later, Jamie Dyer, the guitar player, sends me a song. It's called Become. It became the song Become. He goes, I want you to do some vocals because he saw I was doing the
Yeah.
recording and stuff now, and I have a DAW. He's like, well, I could send him some tracks now. And he sent me this song. I'm like, this is phenomenal, man. And he came over to my house and we did the song. And I had said to him, I said, I'm in no hurry to make this a band, but if we were to do a band with this again, it's got to be with the right people, or I'm not going to do it. And he agreed too. He's like, well, we're not going to do it unless it's with the right people. And our first comeback show was 3 weeks ago. I think it was 4 weeks ago,
Okay.
something like that. We
Let me
opened.
ask, yeah. Let me
We
ask
opened.
you, Jamie, because where I'd like to kind of wrap it up then is, do you think the other guys in Arson Radio would be interested in coming on and doing an interview with you? Are you not at that point, or?
Yeah, sure. We just have to figure out when they're spread out. We
Okay.
could probably do it at Wayne's house, my drummer. But I was getting ready to tell you our first gig we opened for Smile Empty Soul like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's definitely a return, a sweet return. We have a show December 20th here at Cheers. My other band, Bostel's opening for Jackal, November 29th at
Wow.
Pierre's.
Wow. That's pretty big now. See,
You
you're
know,
not just
doing, I
taking,
can't complain, man. I'm doing pretty good for being an original artist.
yeah.
Um, just my area, my city itself, South Bend, there's not a lot to offer an original artist here. Um, there's a lot of sports bars and cover bands here.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, Jamie, before we do wrap it up, why don't you talk to the other guys in the band, see if they would be interested in coming on, and we'll schedule when everybody's able to do it. And maybe we could do it before the gig or after the gig. Even we could talk about how it went. I always love to promote your stuff, and that would be kind of a different thing we haven't talked about yet. Give a little more
Right.
exposure to what you're doing. So that would be great. Do you have any special holiday plans or?
Just got Thanksgiving coming up, and everybody be safe out there and all that. Christmas coming up, and I'll be dropping another single here pretty soon. I wanted to talk to you about Fire Rock,
Sure.
possibly talk. I want to talk to you more
Yeah,
about that.
I'll talk off air. You can hit me up and we'll text back and forth about that. But yeah, sure, we can definitely see what we can do. I'm sure.
Yeah, everybody get out there, check out Raging to Exhale and my other album debut. If you want it on vinyl, you can go to elasticstage.com, type in my name, and they will send the vinyl to your door.
Oh wow.
You just order it right there on Elastic Stage. They also have CDs too. It is
Okay.
pricey. It's from the UK.
Uh,
It's the only place I found that will make one record at a time. I
oh,
don't have
cool.
I don't have to buy it in bulk.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's great. That's great. Um, okay, Jamie. Well, great catching up with you. And I'll tell you what, the interview we just did, I'm going to post it up by tomorrow. I'll send the link once it's up. Feel free to share it. But it's always great checking in with you. We'll definitely talk off there about that other stuff. But
did a
thanks for
couple
doing this today, my
couple
friend.
things. Praise the Fallen's working on some new material, and Bosstel is dropping 2 new singles here real soon too.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's real quick. You mentioned that you just come from a Praise of Fallen rehearsal. So is that what that's for? Just kind of working on the new music?
oh yeah, and it's stellar, man.
I'm a big.
Just had a song low on Eddie Trunk's Trunk Nation.
Oh, congratulations, my friend. I'm a big fan of everything. So if
Yeah,
Praise of Fallen ever wants to come on do an interview, we can set that up as well, my friend.
I would love to do that. We have to do that with the guys probably out at the headquarters. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to them and we'll get it set up. Okay.
Yeah, no
Anytime.
problem, man.
Okay. Thank you, Jamie. Have a great day.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye bye.